People over. Okay. So we're going to finish the series. Yes, welcome back. If you guys are new here, we are talking about a situation, a murder, what happened back in 95, 96. And let's just jump into it. There is a lot of this, so it may go on for a little bit longer. I don't know how long this series is going to last, but the more information I'm pulling out, the more I can say, you know what, it's all right. And I'm learning that this can happen to anybody. We fall into the wrong shoes, so let's jump into it. So, all right. So we were last talking about Justin Bieber and all that and the circumstances, right? Facing all these challenges alone, I can say that it's very minimum. So basically every single year, ever since 2000, she has been saying that she wants to die. Then she says she doesn't want to die. 2008, she ended up, she's trying to obviously hold on for her life 30 years later. We are gathering up a lot of information here. That was in December of 2008. That was over 15 years ago. So let's just jump into more of it. Have you guys ever ended up going out, just like out at night and walking the streets and just feeling like maybe I have to avoid these people to feel happiness? Well, Pike ended up going out at January 12th, 1995, and made a decisive thing that they were going to smoke marijuana, which is weed. It's just another word. One is WEED, right? And then marijuana is just, it's the same thing. So anything that has to do with drug substance, I'm pretty sure a lot of people on here have been facing it, right? So this is exactly what happened. January 12th, 1995 at 8 p.m., her and her friends and the one that she ended up going out and murdering and taking this to a whole safety measures, right? Batshit crazy. 100% cost. Why are people going out of their way to murder people? People are going to go out of their way because they feel guilty or they feel sick or they're taking out of their way. Let's see. On 17th Street, accident at 10:15 p.m. because she has an illness that she's trying to hold off. Right? I said 30 years sentence and nothing has changed in her. Her motive is the same. She acts the same. She's treating people with kindness. She's obviously giving pregnant women communication and service to, okay, well, you could be a good mother, but eventually the pregnant women will have to go into labor, and that's when she's going to probably lose herself, right? And January 13th at 8:05 a.m., an emergency was called by the University of Tennessee. Right, the detective ended up coming out here and going on and just like I said, when you end up acting a fool, and this is over the safety measures, this is way over the top. This is next level. There was blood, there was guts, there was everything. You could have a blood show out of this whole thing. So look it up, making sure that you watch this very slowly. That people are now the detectives are taking this in. January 13th, she ends up coming out. She ends up wondering why should she end up spending the rest of her life in prison? Well, because she ended up having what they call a shotgun or a gun to end up shooting this. They wanted to make sure to go to a local area, so the prison is here and the fight is way over here. So imagine just 45 minutes away. This is how it is. So 100 feet is where the body was from the sidewalk. So you go into a park, right? And you go into the center of the park and go 100 feet. At that 60 mark, you wonder, okay, is this really happening? By the time, so 100 feet's here, 60's here, 30 feet, and there's blood and gush, right? This is a victim. This is somebody that they think is going to end up making a reaction. Well, the police they were just knowing about this. I mean, it was required for them to do their elevation and their searching and making sure that this was true and this wasn't just a deer or animal or something. But as the crime got worse, January 14th, they ended up coming back, and it took it took 36 hours from the time that they figured out. And another coworker at the Job Corps, just went on a walk, went on a stroll, knowing that this is going to change. What, in that mindset, why would Christa end up going out and admitting? Why didn't she just run away? Well, as they're stabbing her, she's getting up, and I mean, it took over 300 times to bash someone's head in. It doesn't usually take that long, but 45-minute window, 8 o'clock at night. It took she got home about 11 o'clock. There was a fourth person missing. They were wondering, okay. But like I said, after the 36 hours, that's over a day and 12 hours. So it didn't pick up until Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. As you keep going with this, at Job Corps, there's an issue with the person that's going on. She says she's laughing about this. She says that at TJ's park. So TJ in the U.S., there is a difference when you are dealing with murders. Okay, in the Ukraines, they're going to end up doing it with, it's going to take within 24 hours. If it's not done, then that person is lifted off. They can't have the death penalty. Right? Having drugs, going out on a vacation, thinking this is funny. She doesn't feel any remorse about it. She doesn't feel like this is it. The certain person that is going on, it's like, okay, they could have said, we're just going to go to the gas station. They were supposed to go to the gas station to pick up some Cheetos or chips or some drinks and maybe some beer, who knows. They weren't old enough to buy it, but eventually they would have ended up drinking, right? Well, so her face is beaten to death. Like, this is next level. Like, you're starting to realize that there's a certain limit that people are going to be pushed to. And if you can make a simple crime and then laugh about it and then pull it out of your pocket in a napkin, say that this is part of her head and stuff, you have to be a monster. You have to end up knowing that this had to do with Satan. This has to do with jealousiness. This has to do with the report having her admit, right? They could have admitted her to the hospital, but they went to so many hospitals. They went to about 7 by the time that she became 13. Right. And then here we are, fasting forward to 96, 95, and you wonder, what is going on in this person's life? There's blood, there's guts, there's a story about it. So as you keep going on and you're wondering, you're navigating, okay, what could have been her move? She could have moved back home and said, Mom, I don't want to be here anymore. She went out to Job Corps. With her going out to Job Corps, it was just bad. There was a white victim, and obviously this took like 12, it took a year to have her be fully a sentence. Like, yeah, they can take him to a prison cell, whatever. But does she deserve to live her life in a prison cell? No. So as you keep going forward and you're moving, you're like, okay, well, maybe if 95 never happened and she would have just said, you know what, she wasn't going to get jealous. She never even should have started these rumors. But she did. Had a fake ID, whatever it was. With her being homeless for probably 6 months or longer, and then with her being in detention at 13 years old, she's been in detention, and that seemed to cheer her up after this happened. So from the age of 13 to the age of 18, in that 5-year period of time, you wonder, is something going to happen? They didn't think to even think about this. Like, they thought, what what a ridiculous person. Is this a monster? Was this an act? Was this something, a sacrifice? She ended up taking a 6-inch knife, which is obviously going to end up doing a lot of damage to anybody, right? The people that are in my life that I want to be nice to, but they're going to get over my skin. They're going to end up having this. And when you end up having certain knives and weapons, you're dealing with a lot of pressure. With this being a pressure of having her not be on medicine, right? She could have been on medicine before 95 and it could have really helped her. But all the doctors just just said that there was nothing wrong with her. She's normal, and it took 7 doctors out of that period of time before she gets sentenced for whatever, right? The death penalty in 24 hours, this is just a max. So you wake up, you have 24 hours to live, whatever, and then you have to figure out what is going to happen, right? So you get your meal, you get a shower, you get 15 minutes, you get to spend time with the people, right? You get to go into a certain cell with your lawyer or with a doctor, or what's going on with the person's victim, right? What's going on in their brain, right? When someone uses drugs, it guarantees they're going out of their way to have a demon be inside, right? And people are wondering why did this happen? Well, if you dig deeper into context, a lot of people are going to make it. A lot of people are going to make false accusations. People don't know the truth anymore, right? Jealousiness can end up breaking any relationship up. It doesn't matter if it's a family or if it's a doctor or nurse. I've had jealousiness, right, for issues for the last 3 years, right? But at the end of the day, if a doctor is saying that she's psychosis, and psychophis, and whatever these nicknames are for mental illnesses that we all are struggling with, she's not only, I'm pretty sure this is how it was. When they got the case, they didn't know what was going on. I mean, you have to have a very high Q to even make these crimes. But with her mother drinking so much, it's going to bring a lot of answers. It's going to bring a lot of questions. And why didn't this happen? Well, fast forward just a little bit more. There was a person of interest that was willing to come out of their way and say it, right? To end up keeping her girlfriend and friend from getting in trouble more than they did. But with this happening, it doesn't seem like it's going to change, right? I know people that have changed on me and started doing drugs because they think it's funny. And some of those people are local and some of those people are distant from me. The reasons why they're distant is because their drug habits started getting to me. See, with somebody being diagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenia, or all the above, it's a guarantee that something bad is about to happen. And because this has happened so often, then you start questioning, is this right? Right? There's an article here that I wanted to show you guys just to kind of give you guys an illustration on. There is a lot of information about this, and I'm pretty sure you guys are even getting sick of this. After the first 3 times, you're like, why don't you just let go of this? Well, there's a censor of we all end up having desires. And so with this being one of the last times that they figure this out, there's more into this article than just looking at it. So if you look at it, you're going to be like, what? But there's all sorts of names here. There's all sorts of what happened there. And with that happening again, 3 million different other times, this is some more information. This is some more information. Hope you guys can read, because this is very... I've tried to discipline myself and putting myself in their shoes, but I guarantee I can't sometimes. Because I don't know why people are going to go out of their way and hurt innocent people. But I guess jealousiness is part of what can happen. Here's the little piece so you know that I'm not joking about it. But the more information that you have on this person, you wonder, okay, am I going to end up acting like them? Am I going to treat them with kindness? Am I going to go out of my way and do this? Well, with her murderous mindset or satanic mindset, right, you have a symbol and you're matching up. It's called 666 all over this. Okay. Also on energy drinks, there is a satanic symbol on the Monster can. Now that's a rock star, but I just am telling you that if you look at the Monster thing and you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to look it up for you and just kind of give you a heads up. Just because I know that this has been weighing on my chest about the Monster can. I'm going to tell you guys that this is another version of Monster and what they do. And there's a lot of questions about it. There's a lot of history in the Bible. There's history about it and this and that. And there's, like I said, this, why are people even coming up with energy drinks like this? That person had to be very stuck in their mind and wicked, just like everybody else is. So if you look here at the can, right here at the bottom, you see above that 0, that's an upside down cross. It's an upside down cross if you look at deepen. Because when you're talking about, and I mean, it's Hebrew for another version of what Satan likes to end up bringing to the table. Yeah, you can drink them, you can do what you got to do, but also there is new side effects to energy drinks that the more that you drink, like there's neighbors of mine have drank energy drinks for deer like forever, for 10 years, 20 years, whatever, for the whole life. And you're telling me that I need to believe in a satanic ritual to even feel happy. I don't want to feel happy knowing that this is going to manipulate me. This is going to bring the worst out of me. But the more that you look at the cross from different angles, from different locations, you're talking about Hebrew stuff that has to do with 666, right? When you're talking about demon stuff, you're going to end up believing that you are one, right? I don't want anybody to go out of their way and say, I have to drink an energy drink and then watch myself sacrifice and lose control of your mind. I've drank plenty of energy drinks in my life, and there is too many people. There's too many people that say, yeah, I can drink up to 13 or 24 a day, and then nothing happens, and then you wonder why they're you never see them again, because you're pumping in so much caffeine here that it's great. Maybe if she had an energy drink, or she had a Red Bull, or she had fruit juice or vitamins or something, maybe she wasn't getting enough vitamins or minerals. It shows that there is a reason. But I don't want to feel happiness. I want to feel guilty, right? The point that I'm trying to make is Christa Pike is not evil. She's not a monster. She just acted out in fear. And when you act out in fear, in a lot of states, it's okay to backdraw, protect yourself if needed. But that's not what she did. She went straight for the kill, right? They could have, the two other friends could have said, we're not going to go outside with you. We do not feel safe. Like, there was a number of things. But if you have jealousiness in a relationship or friendship or whatever this is, I'm just saying, after 25 years of choking someone or having an impulse of going after people, she doesn't have to go after these people, but she chose to. She chose to go after this one person, and it got her sentenced to being in a prison. She's not ever going to be on, she's been sentenced to death, but she's not going to ever get out there. She's not going to let go. She's going to find some way within the next several years to say, you know what, because it happened, something might change. But see, people that are innocent don't go after the evil. The evil ones are going to go after the evil. The people that are going to say, you know what, if this person pisses me off so much, then maybe I should just leave them alone. Maybe I should not even be around. Maybe there is a point of why Justin Bieber ended up going into a very dark state. He got mad at just about every single person. He was running all over the streets. He was doing this because he wanted to try to tell people off. He was telling them F this and F that, not what and all. And it's a bunch of nonsense. This world is coming to what you thought was happy. It is all ripped apart in shreds just because satanic people are going to go out of their way. They're going to put on a dark mask. They're going to end up putting on a certain coat, right? If you watch the news and you watch this closely, there is so many bad people in the world that a lot of people end up writing 75 notes, or they write notes back and forth to say that you're not innocent or you are innocent, but there's a reason why people are going to say something, right? If she gets off of probation and they say, okay, as long as you show us that you can end up being able to live and progress after the 30-year mark, that is not even over 3 weeks from now. That is a little over 3 weeks before this exact 30-year mark comes up. And people are running all over the streets in Florida and running all over the streets because there's fires, and people are getting out of prison in California because they're not guilty. They're going on probation, and then they go back in there and they wonder what in the flying beeps is going on here. What is going on with this person? This person gets sent to life, and then they also are going on probation. I think they all deserve to be on probation. I know that there's a certain person that is in this friend group that believe it. But the child that is in danger, that has to result in going out and killing somebody. This is all happening in Knoxville. Just one night, she wakes up and thinks that it's funny to start talking about this, to make rumors to her coworkers, to make rumors to friends, to brothers and sisters that are out there. this one specific thing threw her in jail, and they ended up saying maybe the judge was just very pissed off that day and said, you know what, we are going to do this, whatever it might be. And the mother of the kid is not going to rest until this case comes to a close in Tennessee, which it will never come to a close. Okay.